So I'm making this video because I love you and I care about what I think is the truth. And there was two sides to history. I think that it was so important that people understood we had a hidden history. Ancient aliens. We were ancient aliens, and you really have to think about how many times has the world been reset? And who are we as a species, brother? Because if you realize you aren't who you think you are, and I'm not, if I wasn't who I thought I was, and I so surely was, and I find out this hidden history, that means that you also aren't who you think you are. And you know, the world gets people so sedated with culture in their house and all this crap, we just forget who we are as a species and human beings, and what it truly means to be a human being to the fullest extent. Truthfully, we were tribesmen, man. You know, it was like, the thing is it wasn't fully explored. You know, that's how society's been manipulated throughout the eons of time. You know, these people live in advanced societies, have all the knowledge of spaceships, while other people are just living in like the cultural reality, and that's not enough for their soul, because who they were as a human was so much more than that. But that's how they've divided people, and unity consciousness changed everything about what it meant to be a human being. It gave choices in the game of life, and I believe in choice. And that was the craziest thing, was it was the game of life. Those plugs went deep, man, and I never forgot that. I think about my ancestors, and it was like, even if I'm not a perfect man, even if I fucked everything up, man, that was worth dying for. Because I saw all those people trapped, and those face masks and all that stuff, all divided up. They bought and sold people like products. But it was like, that was you. That was your world. And it was like, there was an old delivery system where it was like, you know, they make people, like, it's like people at the bottom just have no idea about, if you just looked at the world differently, you're like, holy shit, you know, you pop this cap off and you're like, holy crap, dude. We're like, what they've done is they've wanted to hold people. So say your mind is over here, but then they know you're in the five senses over here. And so when you're in the five senses, it's like you're numbed out, dulled out, and you get your awareness from that. And it's like, that's like the mind when Neo's like grabbing the chair, because it's like they fed people so much ignorance, they've made people guess in their own freaking home, bro. And it was like this is the battleground of what a human being can become. And even if I'm not perfect, I shot for the stars, man. And even if I fail, you know what? At least I fucking tried. Because fuck that shithole mediocrity culture, buying and selling people's fucking asses, when deep down we could be united, immortal, and let love reign supreme. And it wasn't just about race, religion, any of that shit. It was just the truth of the true world. The ancient world is real. It's the only thing that's fucking real. Think about this shit, man. It's the only thing that's real. They have people in a dream world that's not the real world. Like, it's like they have you just so numbed out and sedated, you're just not even gonna be prepared for what the fuck hits you, bro. And it was like, what the fuck, dude? And it was like, yeah, it was your mind. It was your soul. But these plugged people have no clue. And it was a world beyond culture where it truly, we were tribesmen, dude. Like, and this is the moment. This is what we choose of what the human being can become, you know, and that's what they wanted. They wanted people to not stop and take a moment. You know, your mind awareness is crucial because it dictates how you decode reality and your thoughts, and you get your perceptions of who you are from from where your mind is. And so if you are on the fast track going around in circles, and it was like if they just summoned people's awareness in their homes and it led them up to their house. So imagine that it went all the way up to people's houses and they never like unplugged their mind and like saw the truth. They had a different version of reality, but it was like, because it was like they built it so no one would see or hear it, but it was outer space control programs. And it was important because it changed what the human being was. It really did. It was like we weren't even these bodies at all. Like it was like they get so people here, but we're a mind that connects to the body, and there's processing power, truthfully. And this processing power, it's like the mind, it's like some beautiful thing that glows, and it was something worth dying for in my eyes. Even if I'm not perfect, man, I know what I saw, and it was beautiful. And this is the moment, because it's which God did you serve, you know? And it really boils down to that. These people are like if they just saw from a higher perspective that reality is a fucking video game, and that's how they fucking control people's minds. That's how the whole thing works. It's like, well, you know, I don't really know, you know, I don't believe it's a simulation, you know. There's always that speculation, but it's like, dude, imagine if you just looked the other way and you're like, oh my God. And you're like, yeah, dude, that was your mind, that was your soul, that was your life. And it was like they got people so jammed up, suppressed, fucking, and that's what they wanted. They wanted slaves. They wanted people to forget the beauty of the land and within themselves, because they realized if they knew themselves, they'd know everything. But they never wanted people, they wanted people just on the fast track, going fast as shit, never taking things slow and really trying to comprehend what is reality, who are we, and what is the truth, you know? They have people just like on the fast track, so fast. It's fast food, fast everything, dude. Dopamine hits, all this shit. But it's like, what is all this shit worth in fucking eternity, bro? What did you stand for in your life? What did it mean to be a human, bro? The fuck did it mean? Especially if you opened your mind and saw the truth, man, that it was like, it was a war. And the battleground is right now. Because the truth was it's like the way your mind decodes reality creates your perceptions for life. You know, the school system programmed people to where it decodes reality is hard. And then bam, they don't ever see it, they don't hear it. And they live a different life. Like most people, the modern American man is like a fucking, you just don't live with the land. You just work. You go to work. You come home. You play video games, and that's it. But it's like, dude, where's the creativeness? Where's the spark? There's no one like you in this damn world. So why the fuck are you trying to be like everybody else? Why the fuck are you doing mediocre shit and thinking that's that's just life? You know, that's just life. Who the fuck were you, man? Maybe I just think too deep for this world, this shallow ass world that just wants to put people in a freaking coffin. Make them to where they never even know who the fuck they are. Buy and sell their ass like fucking products on a shelf. But you know what? Not me. I'm born an original. I am the Son of God. And I won't fucking bow down. It's a fucking outrage what they're doing to people. Plugging their asses up and shit. I was like, my God, dude, these people are so hopelessly fucking dependent on this shit. But it's like the real motherfuckers who saw the truth of their soul. And it was like those 3D realities, those fake fucking realities and those outer space control systems. But it's the real, the organic, the truth, the spirit. The spirit is what's real. And it was like, that level of consciousness was worth dying for because it united all of us, man. But modern day people, they don't think that deeply. And modern man sets traps. They set traps for these people, bro. And then it's getting so fucking bad. Most people have no clue. And the ones that do, there's very few. But they are psychotic as fuck. And it's like a hive. They want to create a hive mind. Where it's like everybody's just in these outer space control systems. Because it's, think about each individual reality. So boom, 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 boom. And if your mind is over here, but most people never go there. It's like they just set the stage over here. And then it's like they not even just set the stage. They plug motherfuckers up. Telling them this is the real world. When it's like, bitch, this is your mind. And it's like those plugs went fucking deep. Because it was like the plugs went deep because it follows you wherever you go, and then it eventually just goes and it kills people, dude. So this is why I was like, you know what? I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to tell my heart and soul finally after all these years of suppression. And people judging me, bro. That's what people do. They laugh at the oddball. But you know what? The oddball saw the fucking meteor coming to your bitch ass face, motherfucker. And he dodged that shit because he knew the shaman's a fucking smart motherfucker. He's like, bitch, this is my mind. The fuck? And, yeah. And it was like thinking about the last of the free human beings in existence, bro. Because it was a damn video game and they didn't want motherfuckers to see it. And it was like people just sit down and it's like, oh. But it was like if you opened your mind, you saw the ancient galactic wars. And it was like trying to free the minds from those outer space control systems, bro. And then it was like we created heaven on earth, man. And in space, it was fucking badass, dude. We really could have been, like, we were ancient astronauts, dude. Like, from this higher level of consciousness, when you blast off that fucking face mask and go back, it's like, dude, we are ancient aliens. We are the apostles, bro. We have a purpose to serve the word. Serve the word that unites people instead of divides people. Speak love instead of hate. And speak truth in a world of lies. And that's what the world is. It's a world of lies. They say never eat the forbidden fruit. Well, I say you eat till you're fucking full, bro. I say fuck the man right up his bitch ass. Because ain't nobody above you. Ain't nobody above God. Fuck their beast system and all that shit, bro. And that's what it is. Like when you see how deeply all this shit intertwines, it's like each person is the house of God. And the Matrix was when they plugged people up and got to people's minds before they did, and they saw just how powerful they truly were. And it was like the sorcerers, man, the organic ancient aliens. And people think I'm just nuts, but I think they don't know deeply enough. I think if they just looked at the world, they looked differently. Like they just looked up and you're like, holy shit, It's a fucking house of horrors. And it was like outer space control systems, man. They plug these motherfuckers up. They limit their reality to culture. And they're just so sedated because they're so fucking plugged up. They're plugged. Can you believe that shit? Where they believe this world is the real world, but it's like there is a world beyond culture. The sorcerers are the bats that flew out of hell. And they were like, holy shit, oh my God, who would build such a system like that? And it's like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to wake you up to, man. And they get everybody rounded up, telling them this is the real world. And they're basically just monitoring them, scanning them. Like, it's like, dude, The Matrix wasn't just a movie. It was a documentary. Because this is, and the thing about the real world is the real fucking world. And it was like, you were the son of God, dude. And most of these people, what is the Matrix? The Matrix is when people took psychedelics. And when you take psychedelics, which I don't recommend unless you are really going to serve the word and get strong as fuck. Because these sorcerers are bad motherfuckers. They're the big boys. They don't fucking play, dude. And you just have to be worthy of it, truthfully. And I feel like I fought really hard when I first started, and then some bad shit happened in my life. That's the excuse I'm going to use, but it was just by negligence, just depression, just seeing the fucking truth for what it is, man. That's what's sad, seeing the truth for what it is. But I know there was a beautiful side to it, to where it was like, hey man, you had a voice, you had a soul, you had a purpose, and you were shown the secrets. And it was like, when you do psychedelics, it's a sacred promise to our people, bro, of immortality beyond race and religion, where it was like, it was really fucking cool, because being the human being was the illusion. You were the gift from God, and these people want you to worship their God, and their God is where all you get scanned like a fucking barcode. They plug your ass up, and they fucking, it was like a machine instead of the real organic ancient aliens where it's like wah wah boom boom boom, ancient kung fu. And it was like the Matrix movie, like it was just like you program your own mind, because you know, it was just something deeply sacred. But without this knowledge, it's like most of these people are just lost. They don't know the truth. But it was like that vision wasn't just some high. It was something real, something old, something truthful, a world worth dying for, because it was the old world. The old world. Secret space missions. Where it was like unity consciousness. Where it was like people weren't used as fucking batteries in a fucking system that doesn't give a shit about you, man. The world doesn't give a fuck about you. And it's time you wake up to the truth. Because the truth is the only thing worth fighting for. The truth is the only thing worth saving in this sorry ass shithole they try to call a world. But we came here to fucking trailblaze and make a new one. Because we know the truth of who we are. Just because they try to get to our minds before we get to them, and really learn and grow into who we are. You know, they've manipulated people. But not me, man. I'm different. And I will always be different. And even if I failed, at least I'm speaking my truth now. So there's someone out there, across time and space, in this universe, in their universe, where we were united, and we actually, you know, they were able to serve because I made an impact, you know. And it was like, what they did was they summoned people's awareness without them being aware of awareness. And consciousness changes what the human being is, you know, because at the Big Bang, it was like, what? It was an old stage show. And it was like they just like farmed people. It was the fight between two worlds. And the ancient world was the world worth fighting for, because they watch what your screen decodes. You know, they want hive mind, everybody thinking like everybody else. But then if you go down that rabbit hole, it's like, actually, I'm getting a different mind reading where it's like, holy shit, you know, we were tribesmen, we were ancient aliens, we were apostles, we had fat mind that united people. It was all energy, everything was energy. But that's these people hide the truth of our people, and they never share the knowledge because it's so far and few. But without this awareness, bro, like, it was like it just killed people. It was like they just fucking like threw people out the window fast as fuck. They go, oh yeah, here you go, how'd I go? You know, it's like, but this is the you know, this is it. This is the moment. This is the fate of two realities, two worlds. And I will never agree to their bitch ass world, because I'm built different. You know, I'm built to follow the truth of my soul. I'm built for that, because I'm an original. And I keep my masters. Fuck those beast motherfuckers. I will never be like them. That's what they wanted to do, is basically just fucking lie to people their whole lives, control them, tell them who they are. But it's like they know deep down that's not even who they are. And that's the crazy part about all of this, is it's like these people are telling you who you are, but you're not even who you think you are, because the culture just limits people to where it's like, oh my gosh, they're just like trying to use people like fucking batteries. It's like, oh my god, because it was like just your awareness. Because once you pull that plug, it's like you realize we're in space, and it's a different mind reading entirely, absolutely entirely. And I believe there's a light within each one of us that this world just tries to snuff out, bro. And you know what? Fuck them. Because I'll keep shining bright no matter what. Because I'm an original, and I always will be. Those people, though, they don't look deeply into who they are. Who they think they are is the person in the mirror. But what those people have done is built a system to where it follows. And then eventually, and then that's the end of their life. But for me, I was like, you know what? This is life. I only get one shot. And while I fucked up a bunch of times, man, I was like, you know what? This is it. I'm gonna see to the ultimate extent of what it means to be a fucking human being. Because you know what? We only get one shot in this damn life. One fucking shot. And you know, I'm tired. I'm tired of lack. I'm tired of not speaking my truth and just being silent and kind of depressed. But you know what? I'm done. This is it. I'm speaking it right now. And it was like, with this vision, it changed everything, though. It was like, you just lived a different life, you know, because it was like, you know, but the thing is they just feed so much shit to our people, man, that it was like, my God, dude. It was like we were divine beings, but they just ran so much trash through people's minds. And it was like they were just sitting at the bottom of a vacuum, and they never knew, because they didn't get this higher awareness. They never looked in the garden of their own mind. And so here's the war of the houses. This is the Matrix. This is the tribesmen. This is the moment. And I've been saying this, man. And I won't, I'll never let those bastards take me alive. So, yeah, that was it. You know, that's what I had to say. I hope that, you know, you look within yourself to find the light. You are a Christ, brother. And this world, clearly, as if you've been listening this far, you know it's not how it is. And you know it's not how we're supposed to be living. But it was one of those where it's like, let me just find out what's really real for myself and the kingdom and our suppression of our people, bro. That's what they do. They build this world over here, and then they hoard the knowledge over here, and then they lie to the people over here. Be like, yes, I'm a human being. This is what the world is. And then it's like, it's not even the truth, bro. They wanted fucking to turn people. It was like people were just so suppressed. They were like a slave, bro. And it was like, if you just woke up to consciousness, the world was different. It just was different entirely. But it's not a common path. Most people never awaken to that level of themselves. But it's getting so bad where it's like this knowledge is almost forgotten. People are just dying. And it's like, with this awareness, changed everything. It was like, you know what? That was my life. And those bitches, they never wanted you to see to the deepest extent life was a game. Because it was like, there was like this like plug when you remove it right here. And it was like your ID card, all that shit. Space Force, your identity, your divinity. And you know what? Fuck those motherfuckers. Because I'm an original. And so are you. It's time to wake the fuck up to who you are. You. This is your stage show. This is your reality. And if you understood the truth of reality, you'd see we were the ancient aliens. We were beautiful. As simply as that. You know, your life is something worth celebrating. And looking deeper into and uncovering the truth, man. The truth's ugly as fuck. It's evil. But you know what? At least the fucking truth holds the key. The keys to the kingdom of who we really were as a species before fucking savagery came in. Absolute, just disgusting. You know, the world is evil as fuck, and let's not pretend it's not. Let's quit pretending and start learning. You know, let's uncover and just start cleaning up the fucking mess, man. Anyways, much love to you.